What's up everyone, it's Caddy with MoneyVest. So in this video, we're going to be talking about Tesla and Apple more specifically. And I've got very important things to address in this video. And these are things that you may find shocking. You may find it hard to believe about these companies. But I wanted to address something important for Apple. So hope you all enjoyed this video and find it helpful. Make sure that you drop a like, and of course don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you're just joining us for the first time. The link to our Discord and Patreon is going to be down below if you're interested in joining us, and of course getting access to all the members only private videos, including all the spreadsheets, including our trade alerts and trade ideas, and everything is going to be available with the link down below, with a 16% annual discount available until the end of March, and also have access to our moneyvest.com platform here very soon. It's going to be launching for members only. So we did have Apple and Tesla push higher on the day. So Apple was a little bit up over 1%. At one point it was up, I think, close to 2%. So trading back up to 172. I did a couple of trade ideas on both Apple and Google, so definitely do check them out if you can. And then Tesla here pushing up to 177.77, a little bit up over 1%. Also, it was up close to over 2% at one point during the day, and then of course sold off intraday at some point. So when it comes to Apple, so here's the thing, okay? Apple is, one of the most recognized and most popular companies in the world. Now, if you go back 2 years in 2022 during the bear market of 2022, and this is going to be mostly for the OGs of MoneyVest who've been with us for a very long time. And if you were back with us during that time in 2022, you'll remember this very specific question I asked everyone during a live stream during a time when we had one of the biggest sell-offs in 2022. The markets were down, I remember, 3%, the NASDAQ was, and S&P was down a little bit over, I think, 2.5% as well. And, it was a very red day. And we had like almost all stocks in the market selling off. And of course, the entire Magnificent Seven and big tech was also down significantly. We had like 4, 5, 6% sell-offs for a lot of these companies. And I asked a very specific question during that time. I asked, in the next 10 years, which of these big tech companies you think is not going to be around? Okay. I asked that question, and the reason was because I wanted to get a good idea, a good understanding of, what people think about the future of tech and innovation, and which of these companies, Magnificent Seven companies, or big tech, if you like to call them, is not going to make it in the next 10 years because of their lack of innovation and because of their lack of testing out new things or kind of working out the new trends in technology of how we're going to communicate, what devices we're going to use, and how we're going to interact with the digital world and the real world. And everyone, almost, I would say like over 90% of people had one answer. And you want to know what that stock was? Take a guess. If you remember it, pause the video, comment down below. But that company was Meta Platforms. Everybody thought that Meta is dead. Meta is a dying company. Facebook is quite literally dead. Now, that might still be true. Like, I'm not saying that is not true because we don't know. We're 2022 is when I asked that question. 2032 is when we're going to be looking at maybe all of them survive, in the next 10 years. But the future of technology is in such a way that there's so much competition, especially when you are looking at, big tech, right? They're kind of overlapping in so many different industries. Google has a cloud business. They've got an advertising business. Meta is mostly focused on advertising, and now they're kind of, delving into the metaverse and the virtual reality world. We've got Amazon that kind of competes on an e-commerce basis, and then cloud basis, and then also advertising basis. Microsoft is mostly a SaaS company along with the cloud business that competes with Google and Amazon. Then of course you've got Nvidia kind of competing on the chip side, as Apple's also producing its own chips and own hardwares. So there's a lot of overlapping businesses kind of competing with each other. So there is possibility for them to coexist. But here's the shocking part. Why do I have a feeling, okay, that, and again, this is a bet with myself. This is not a prediction. This is not a thesis. This is just a very sort of like out of the ordinary, out of the blue bet that I've made with myself, that it's possible that Apple doesn't go anywhere in the next 10 years. It doesn't go anywhere in the next 10 years. And the reason I say that, look, again, Apple is a fantastic company, very, very strong moat, and excellent business, an excellent brand. But, extraordinary things do happen in the market. People that are not expecting anything, right? The investors that think that, oh, this is the least probable outcome. This just cannot happen. Those things happen all the time, right? When you look at the bell curve of statistical probability, the ends of the curves, like the tail events, always happen. Like they do happen in the market and in the economy in the world. So, I have a bet with myself that it's possible that Apple maybe doesn't go anywhere, or is actually one of the underperforming stocks in big tech and Magnificent Seven. And the reason I say that is because Apple's gain for the most part has come primarily from a lot of financial engineering of share buybacks, and as a result has seen significant growth in earnings, even though their net income hasn't really gone up like 20% in the last, let's say, 10 years. It's gone up more in the tune of 7 to 8%, as much as 10%. So it's really been more stable growth as opposed to high growth. I know that Warren Buffett is a very, very significant sort of component to the overall Apple's valuation. That is a potential risk that we have to also consider. But more importantly, if you look at Apple as a company, I feel like the company who fails the most is the one who succeeds long term. Right. And that's actually was what I read in the book Psychology of Money, is the company or anybody who fails the most is the person or is the company that succeeds the most long term. And Apple, in my opinion at least, is scared to fail. Apple is scared to fail. And what I mean by that is Apple is scared to try and test new products and test out the market. Meta is really good at it. Amazon is excellent at it. And even Google is good at it. Like a lot of these companies try new things. They try new things. They try new trends. They try new products. They test out the market with new things that are very, very important to keep testing out the new trends in technology, because innovation in technology is happening so fast that if you're not constantly testing the market and getting feedback, it's just, you're not going to survive, especially in such in a world with artificial intelligence, and there's so much technology, kind of moving forward. So in my opinion, I think Apple, when was the last time we actually saw a new product from Apple, right? I mean, this is just the Vision Pro that came out today. This year in 2024, after so many years, right? And Apple's just been reinventing the iPhone. And honestly, like if you look at the future of technology, let's say what's the next 20 years? Are we still going to be using a piece of hardware just like this, like a phone, or is it going to be transformed into something different? Nobody knows the answer to that. We had a very, very engaging discussion. A few members of mine and we were having a discussion of what the future of technology looks like. So let me know in the comment section down below. What do you think about this? What do you think, what the future of tech looks like? Are we still going to be using iPhones? Are we still going to be using actual smartphones? Or is it going to be transformed into something whole different that we've never even heard of or we've seen? So in that perspective, I think it's really important to try new things, test out new things, and fail. Right? The more you fail, the more feedback you can gather, and the more you can kind of pivot your strategy, and then of course eventually reach to success. And I think that's what Meta does really well. I think a lot of people kind of hate Mark Zuckerberg for whatever reason, but the bottom line is that that guy is a visionary. Elon Musk is a visionary. Like they will try new things. They will try the market. They will test out new products. They will get feedback, and they will pivot their strategy, and they will continue to evolve and adapt in the market. Whereas, as unfortunate as it is, but for me, as much as I love iPhones and MacBooks and whatnot, innovation is key. Like Apple needs to keep innovating and reinventing what they've already done well, so that they don't get complacent along the way. So anyway, competition in China may weigh on Apple stock's performance. So we did get a price reiterated on a new price target of $220 a share on Apple, with an upside of about 27%, and the current share price of course, $173. That was from Atif Malik from Citi. And two reasons to buy Apple stock like there's no tomorrow. One, the brand power and financial resources to overcome current headwinds. So again, Apple has tons of cash flow, tons of cash sitting on the sidelines in the balance sheet. So again, nothing's happening in any time soon here, but I'm really talking about long term, as in 10 plus years out, and what's going to be the future of tech and which companies are going to be super, super competing with Apple, because we already know there's a lot of but a lot of smartphone developers, manufacturers all over the world that have far better technology and design and functionality compared to Apple. But Apple's really at the top, especially in the US and of course North American market, is because of their brand and their marketing, right? That's really the reason why they're doing so well. with respect to their sales and deliveries. Now, Tesla stock also has about 80% upside according to this Wall Street analyst, and this right here was from Morgan Stanley, Adam Jonas. He did lower the price target from about 345 down to 320, and he did mention there's going to be some weakness, some headwinds for Tesla at the moment, but at the same time, if you are looking at long-term investors, we'll have to be patient with Tesla this year. Even CEO Elon Musk has warned in previous earnings calls that rising interest rates will be a headwind for the company, but of course, 5 years out, if you have a 5-year time horizon, the stock price dip could prove to be an excellent buying opportunity. This Tesla is far from done growing in the EV market, delivered 1.8 million vehicles last year, which is a small percentage of total car sales as well. So this right here was actually a good technical analysis from the Trading Journal, which basically kind of suggested, very similar to what we have discussed, a lower high, lower low pattern, so downtrending channel, a little bit of a breakdown from this bear flag, which we also discussed in our previous videos, but they also highlighted another potential bear flag here, where on the daily candle, you'll notice that we are, just moving sideways here. So that can also be seen as a bear flag. And if we do end up, let's say, breaking down, I believe a 150s is possible for Tesla. I think we just have to mentally be ready for Tesla getting down to $150 if it does end up, let's say, breaking down below this level. And that's going to be that next support, kind of in line with that previous support here. And then, of course, coming over to Apple, we're seeing a very nice recovery back up. And support level is going to stay put in the 170s, 180 levels, and a target and a resistance back up to over 200, almost $199 to $200 per share. So technically speaking, it is oversold. Technically, it's got potential to kind of reverse back up, given how oversold it is, and we're already starting to see that momentum back up. And market cap is sitting at just under 2.7 trillion. Kind of hard to believe that Nvidia is almost the same market cap as Apple right now. But of course, that's how quickly that change has happened in the markets here. So hope you all enjoyed this video. Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below. So it's just one of those things where a small part of me, I'm not talking like less than 1% part of me, would like to predict for something super extraordinary and crazy. But again, the probability is, of course, really, really low. Apple is still one of the strongest brands and marketing sort of geniuses in the world. And they've done, of course, incredibly well. The only concern I've had is not the lack of upgrades year over year with respect to the iPhone. It's just like become an upgrade business. Every year they launch the new iPhone with a little bit of an upgrade, with a camera upgrade, with design changes, with whatever, and it's the same iPhone practically over a few years. It's really not, you're not experiencing a bigger upgrade unless, of course, you're doing it after 4 or 5 years. So I bought the 15 after my 11, so that was after 4 years. So this, of course, still more or less feels the same. It's just functionality and speed is a little bit better. And then that 11 was purchased after my iPhone 7. So I've only done, 3 iPhones in the last about 7 years or 8 years. Now, I will also mention that there is that services piece, right, which has got a lot of potential, the App Store and the services piece. That's a good recurring business, a very sticky business for Apple. That is that ray of sunshine at the end of the tunnel that we're kind of seeing with Apple. But with respect to innovation, again, I would love to hear your thoughts and let me know what you think about Apple's future here and, of course, Tesla's future, as I'm already optimistic on that company over the long term. So hope you all enjoyed this video, found it helpful. Make sure that you drop a like. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Again, links to our Discord and Patreon is going to be down below. And as always, happy investing. I'll see you all in the next video.